At $0 to $100,000, you should have no one in your company. Maybe some contractors, some part-time people, but nobody should be paid full-time besides you. You're not even full-time paid, to be fair. Okay? You're not even a business yet. Honestly, you're not there yet. Your main objective here is to literally stop working on returns, stop doing education platforms, stop doing all this other stuff. Literally, the only thing that gets you out of here is marketing and selling. That's it. Nothing else. You don't need to know anything else. And what you need to get rid of is you need to get rid of the bad habits where you get up in the middle of the day and someone calls you for a Walmart pickup. All right? I say this because it comes from personal experience of people that have told me, and they're like, Dad, I make $50,000, and I'm like, why are you taking phone calls to go pick someone up from Walmart? You should be working. You need to work. That's the only thing. Right there, everything in your mind is I'm an imposter. I'm not worthy, I'm not this. It's all head trash at that stage. It is. It's all head trash. It's just you talk to yourself negatively, and therefore you can never break through. The biggest fix here is having a calendar. How many of you guys have, like, you work by your calendar? Raise your hand. If you work by your calendar, right? Let's keep your hands raised. Keep your hands raised. I want you guys to see something visually. How many of you guys make over $1 million a year? See what I mean? There's a trend. There's a trend that happens with this. And thank you for being honest, right? There's a trend that happens with this because having a calendared event, a calendar, by sticking to something is your first thing. The second thing is as soon as you get out of $100,000 a year to $200,000, you need to hire an executive assistant / appointment setter. That's your person. And they are not there to do tax returns, to be fair. They are not there to do anything else besides manage your calendar, help you with client communication, and make sure that you keep your promises you committed to your customers. That's it. That's their role. And make sure, obviously, appointments and stuff like that. But that's their role. Their role, again, remember, their role is to multiply your money. You're the money maker. Their role there becomes, how do I help Tammy take everything else so she can just do selling. You made the most amount of money when nobody talks to you about anything besides sales, right? Highest closing rate too, right? Exactly. So my case in point being, that's why, and most of us, by the way, some of you guys get to this stage without doing that. So then that tells you what? That's your next hire. Do you get that? That's what David's going to cover. I think, if not already. Okay, that person right there is a super unlock. That's why it's our first hire ever, is that role, because it's so important, because it gets you guys as the business owners, the entrepreneurs, back in effectiveness and efficiency. When you're doing the work, you're not effective, to be fair, right? 200 to 600,000. And by the way, at this stage right here, mentally, here's what you're thinking. I'm going to go back to corporate. You have two things. You're either going to go all in with this business. Come on. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. Not wrong. I've talked to thousands of you guys. And there's a trend. You're like, should I stay here or should I go corporate? Should I go all in or should I go back to my job? That's what you're thinking. Always, every single day. And you know what's the problem there? Unpredictable sales, unpredictable marketing, inconsistency, low tax returns. So you're like, this isn't even worth it. I'll just go back to work for someone else. Okay? At 200 to 600. Many firms stay right here. Many firms stay right here in this stage. And I'm going to give you guys, this is my least favorite stage to be in, because it's where most of you guys that are in this stage, 200 to 600,000, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands. If you're at 200 to 600,000, guess what? You're probably one of the biggest fish in the smallest pond. You've made it on paper. Technically, right? Because your profits are probably pretty high, and the friends around you are making $70,000 a year when you're taking home $350,000. And there's not a resonate. And now you become the hometown hero. Right? You're the guy or the gal, right? Making all the money. This is where I start seeing some people start getting multiple businesses at this stage. Don't do it. It's a trap. This is where I see people going laterally and start selling side services. Don't do it. It's a trap. This is where I hear people say, well, I'll just get something where it's fully automated. Don't do it. It's a trap. Okay? This is where they say, I'm going to just get a tax dome and it's going to do everything for me. Do I know something about your business? Don't do it. It's a trap. Right? I'm going to give you a sob story about this one, but it actually has a good side to it. Right? I met with a, let me back up here. Raise your hand if you love this community. Raise your hand. Honestly, if you love this community. If you love how real we are, raise your hand. Keep your hand raised. Right? Why do you guys love this community? Give me an answer. I want to know. Why do you love the community, Tammy? Okay. All right. Tell me why. Why do you love this community? We're real with you guys, right? And only someone who's gone real can get real. See what I mean? So I had to get real with a couple of you guys in this room. The one I'm going to talk about, I didn't have to get real. I did have to get real with, but he's not in this room. But I sat down with him, and he did $500,000 a year, amazing business, has been doing it 15 years, everything's good, hometown hero, like I said, coaches the kids, all the good things happen at this stage. And I said, you need to do this. You need to do this tax planning thing. You have 2 employees, plus yourself, one of them's part-time. I said, you need to do this tax planning thing and sell up, go up. Don't go sideways, don't start another business, don't do the extra little things, invest in passive income, none of that. Don't do that. Go up. He's like, I don't know, I'm pretty busy, I'm pretty good. Last year, at this stage right here, 40% of his business cut off overnight because of a data breach. 15 years of trust gone overnight. This is why I hate this stage, because it's risky. It's very risky. And this is where most people stop. Because they're like, hey, I'm getting a nice car. Maybe I have 1 car. Maybe I got my house now. Maybe I got 2 kids. You're not at the stage yet where you live on a beach yet. Not yet. That's at this stage, by the way. That's around here. It's right around here. You're starting to have beach views, and you're starting to have 2 cars, maybe a BMW right here. This is what happens. I'm telling you. Right? Sports cars right around here. Right here, sports cars happen. Right? Some of y'all laugh. Nice watches right around here. Right? I know. I've talked to you guys. I'm a pattern recognizer. Right? But there's good news to that. Lost 40% of his business. He started the tax planning things that you guys are doing today. He's back at the top. But the cool thing is that you don't have to deal with those customers again. And now he just made it back up. But I say that, the reason why I bring that up is because at this stage it's risky. And this is why I give you guys big numbers. This is why we talk to big numbers to you guys, because we see what happens when firms fail. We see the stats on AICPA that says that the average firm grows 6 to 11% year over year. If your software goes up 1%, 2%, that's already, your teams are going to ask for a raise, right? Inflation's going to happen. So you're a year later in the same amount of money. That's why it's not growing, right? You guys are not resonating with that. You know why? Because I've polled you guys are growing at 50 to 100% year over year. Congratulations to yourself. Come on, clap it up. You guys are doing great. And those of you that are not, and you're like, I'm not there yet. Come talk to me after. We'll get you there. We'll help you. Okay? 600, where am I at? Is it this one? Did I just get through this one? Or did I get through this one? 600,000 to 1 million. Okay. If that wasn't bad enough, 600,000 to 1 million. This one is where we've been talking about for the last 2 days. Your leadership lid starts to become tested. This is where your leadership starts to become tested because it's a me game up here. It's about me. It's all about me right here. It's all about me. This is where leadership starts to become we. Me and a small little team. This is where it starts to be tested, your leadership ability, your communication style, your clarity, right? All the things in your head needs to go on a paper so someone else can do it. Someone amazing wants to show up for you, wants to do great things, but you're too stuck doing returns to help that person, right? I know, I've been there. Not physically, but I've been there with you guys, right? I live through you guys, if you will. Okay, but even our own business, we went through the same thing. We just had a different thing that we're selling, right? So right here, these 3 to 5 hires, really, it's the EA, it's the tax professional, and right in this stage right here, you need to get a client success manager. Those are the 3 hires. Said differently, it's the person that communicates with your clients when you're not there. That's what it is, okay? That's where that right there becomes a really important stage for them, okay? A lot of firms are right in that stage too. Again, back to the Hometown Heroes, you know, this is where you probably have those houses and all that stuff that I just mentioned, so I won't go back to that. $1 million to $2.4 million a year. This again, this where's the big transition and why most people say, this at this stage is so funny. At this stage, right before this stage, I get the justification is like, I don't need more than $1 million a year. I don't need that. I can do it with a small team. I don't want a big team. I don't want the headache. I don't want all that stuff. I hear that right here, this stage, right here. Right when you're going to cross the chasm of $1 million, it gets hard. It gets real hard because nobody you know, well, now you guys do, but nobody you know has ever been there, done that before. And so now you're crossing the chasm. By the way, only 3% of businesses ever get to past $1 million a year. Statistically speaking, according to the U.S. Bureau of Statistics. Okay? Less than 97% of businesses are less than $3 million a year. Okay? Okay? Most of them are right in this range. Okay? In this range right here, this is where you're going to have, now you have a full football team. Now you have to transition from being the quarterback to the coach. This is where it goes from me to we to us. You get the concept? We is a small team. Us. Now we're talking about mission, vision, values, standards. This is where it needs to happen because at this stage right here, you cannot talk to all the customers, nor should you. You're having a big enough team that you cannot manage 12 different people or 12 direct reports. You can't be doing that anymore. You need to have 1 or 2 managers helping you manage the other, 10 people. And you have a direct report with them. That's where middle-level management starts to come into play. Does this make sense? You guys picking up what I'm putting down? Some of you guys are not there yet, so you're like, I just want to get to $1 million. But it's okay. I want it for when you need it, you hear it, okay? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Anyone ever heard that concept? Some of you guys are going to hear it once, and you're going to be like, that's the one. Some of you guys are going to hear it like 10 times. You're like, Dan, you just didn't say it enough times. It's okay. I get it. $2.4 to $5 million. This right here becomes the middle-level management team. Doesn't have a, how do I say this? The structure starts to compound on itself again. Meaning, everyone starts catfighting with each other at this stage. Okay? Everything here, now you're having to teach your managers the same thing I just taught you from me to we to us. Do you get that? They are going from, take the money aside. Take the money aside. Move the money aside. Look at the team. At this stage right here, where am I at? At this stage right here, at 2.4, now you have 12 to 25 hires. You're going to have one person managing 3 people. That's that. They're going to have to learn the we method. They're going to have to learn how to work as a team with a small thing. And now you're going to level up to now you're teaching middle-level management. You're a director in this stage. You're not a CEO, as much as you might want to put it on your title. It's okay. I get it. You're the director. You're probably 5 directors, to be fair. You're probably 5 different directors because you haven't hired a true director yet. But this is where you start to hire those directors, and you feel it. All right? This is where you're going to start to hire your tax manager and stuff like that, and you're going to have probably a tax director or someone that handles all accounting part and then all planning part. And by the way, some of you guys are going to accelerate through this numbers very, very quickly, okay? And then $5 to $10 million, this is where you start introducing C-suite executives. So if you just look at the numbers and the hires there, look at this. Each one, teach one. Do you get the concept? Each one, teach one. We just went through these stages mentally for ourselves. Now it's our job to teach the what do they call it? Proteges, whatever. The people under you, you teach them the same method you just went through because you just came from it. So you become a coach to your team. You don't become the doer anymore. Now you're casting the vision, you tell them where we're going, and then you let them do their thing right here. Does this make sense? Operationally, this is how it works to help your people move in the right directions. Because now you have a way to quantify their stage, where they're at, what they're struggling with. And by the way, how many of you guys have middle-level management and you're like, oh, dang, I've seen that problem before with you. You were the problem. And now I'm seeing you deal with the problem that you were, right? It happens like this. So now you have to teach them how you help them get through so they can help their team get through. I know most of you guys are not at this stage, so I know I'm kind of falling on deaf ears here. Okay? So